Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of the PassioKnit Spinner Podcast. My name is Tracy. I'm also known as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. And because I'm not good at spelling in English, I wrote it down. So this is where you can find me on Ravelry and on Instagram. And I also did open a group on Ravelry for the podcast, and it's called the PassioKnit Spinner Podcast. Easy, right? So please join. It would be awesome to see you there and hang out with you. And I also want to thank everyone who's watching this, because I know there are a ton of podcasts out there and there are a ton that are way better than mine. So thank you for being here. Okay, what I'm wearing today, I'm wearing my McKellen vest by Thea Coleman. The pattern was published with Brooklyn Tweed. I think it was in one of the Wool People things, but I'm not quite sure. And I did knit it out of Knit Pick City Tweed Heavy Worsted. And I did modify quite a lot because it's a sweater vest, which means it doesn't have buttons, but I don't like that type of clothing. I don't wear it. My chair, I have to go back a little bit. So I did modify to have a button band. And I made real pockets. I'm going to stand up for you to see, so you can also see my big baby belly. The pattern calls for fake pockets, and I just didn't see why you should knit fake pockets when you can do real ones. And it also has a very heavily cabled back. I loved knitting this. It was really fast, real fun, because I love cables in every way. So it's one of my favorite things to wear. And it's very warm, and in here it is very warm, so I'm going to melt, but it's fine. Now, knitting in the past. I did finish quite a lot of things. First of all, I can only show you a picture, but I did manage to finish my dad's socks. Here they are. He absolutely loved them. He unwrapped his gift, and the first thing he said was, "Those are cool colors," which basically means it's the best present ever, because he's not super enthusiastic about gifts. The other thing that I finished is my Scarfy Shenanigans scarf from the Mystery Knit Along with Josh Ricks, and I'm going to try and show it this way because you don't see anything when I do it like that. So here it is. I like it a lot. I love the colors, and I absolutely believe that I will wear the heck out of this. And I also have quite a lot of yarn left. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I want to do to have a matching set in my Knitting in the Future section. So it's done. It smells great. I soaked it in Perwoll. And yeah, I didn't change anything about this. I just did what the pattern told me, and it was awesome. The other thing that I finished is my Color Infinity scarf by Pam Powers, but I blocked it yesterday together with the scarf, but the color scarf thing is out of a wool cotton blend, and it's just not dry yet. It's still soaking wet, and I can show you next week. Knitting in the present is super short this week because I don't knit a lot after I finished everything. There's only one real active project on the needles. I'm trying to open my little pouch. It's my socks for the Little Bobbins Knits Knit Along. I'm almost where I put in the yarn for the Afterthought heel, but I have not knit on this in the last 2 days really, because I just wanted to finish up that collar cowl. The yarn is Lollipop Yarns. It's the Fa La 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 colorway. It's beautiful, and I love this. It's going to be my favorite pair of socks for this year, I think. That is really everything I'm working on. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm knitting this with the Little Bobbins Knits podcast. She's doing a knit along for Christmas Eve socks. And I did manage to cast them on, not on Christmas Eve, but on Christmas Day. But it's fine. So, knitting in the future, I have quite a few things that I want to knit in the future. And I have everything open up here, I hope. So, I will show you pictures. First off, I'm still planning to knit the Manuel sweater for my mom's dog. The only problem is the pattern is for small dogs, and my mom's dog is a super small dog, so I have to modify a lot, and she has to take good measurements for me before I start knitting this, because I'm not going to knit that sweater when it's going to turn out too big, because I don't have any dog near me that I could give it to. So it has to be perfect the first time, because I'm not going to knit it a second time. The next thing I want to knit is a matching hat for my collar cowl, because I have quite a few, no, not quite a few, I have quite a lot of yarn left, except for one color. It was knit with 4 colors, and I had it in my Frogget Designs Christmas bag. And I ran out of one color, so that's why I had to stop the scarf early. But everything else from all the other colors is quite a few still left. Quite a lot still left, so I decided to knit a matching hat to go with it. Also, I'm going to knit a pair of mittens, or mitts, fingerless mitts, to go with my Scarfy Shenanigans scarf, because like I told you, I have a lot of yarn left and I just want to have a matching set for once. So, those are the Chimera mitts. They're by Julia Müller. She's a German designer, and I'm going to talk about her later. And to go with this, I'm going to knit myself a Langfield hat. You can't see a lot of it here because it's very light outside because of the snow. But it's a new pattern by Martina Behm. It's a hat, and I think it will make a nice. It will go good with the scarf. Let's say it like that. So those are my knitting in the future projects that I planned to do within the next week or so, because I still have a break from school, where I work, until January 6th. It's my last day of break, and on 7th I start again, which means I have another 1.5 weeks time to just sit down, knit and spin, and don't do anything else, which is exactly what I plan on doing. So, talking about spinning, there's no spinning. Just haven't had time, mojo, or I didn't want to. But I hope to be back at it, because leading into new stuff, I got my very last shipment from the Into the World Club. I was in the club for about 2 years. I started in February 2013, and I decided it's time for me to let it go, because I spun up one of the braids so far. I am working on a sweater quantity with 8 of them, but still, I can't justify being in a club where I don't spin the stuff up. So I gave my spot up for someone else, but here's my last shipment. It's called Flounce, and it's a Corriedale. I'm in the classic club, so this is awesome, and it will go on the wheel today. I decided on doing that because I love it. It's pretty, and it's different. It's nothing I would have bought myself, because it's not really my color with all the blue in it, but I do like it a lot, and I love spinning Corriedale every now and then, because it spins so easily. Also, I got some yarny things for Christmas. The first thing I want to show is a scarf kit that my sister-in-law brought me back from South Africa, which is where she lives. And I like it. It's black yarn. 3 skeins of this yarn. And it has pre-cut fringe, which I think is super funny. And it's like on it's on this little band, so you can just sew it on. I think that's very cool. The only problem is the yarn is mohair, which is locally spun and milled where she lives. But I cannot wear mohair. I can't knit this, I cannot wear it, and she didn't know. So I have a really, really bad feeling, but I have to tell her that I cannot use it, so she knows for the future. And I have to give this scarf kit away. So if anyone out there is interested in a scarf kit with 3 skeins of black mohair yarn and including fringe from South Africa, please contact me and we can arrange something, because I just cannot use it. I'm very sorry about it, but I can't. Then my husband got me a book that I really wanted. It's the Spinner's Book of Fleece, because I do have some fleece in my house. It's German fleece from a Bergschaft, which is very coarse, but I want to knit myself a rug for my crafting room out of it, but I have to process it first, so this is the book that will help me do that. Like I said before, I'm not going to do a review of this book, or any other book really, because I'm not good at that, but there are others out there who did review it. And I just can say it's an amazing book if you want to process your own fleece. Also, my sister-in-law got me this little pin cushion. It's quite heavy. I don't know what it's inside, but it's very heavy. And I like it a lot. It's very cute and very thoughtful of her, because she gave me something to knit. She gave me something for my sewing. It's awesome. And now on to knitted goods. I have to get rid of my iPad here. My mom did knit me a pair of summer socks, because I don't knit those for myself. I don't know why, but I just don't like using the cotton sock yarns that are out there. So she did knit me a pair. Very short summer socks out of a, I think it might be Regia, or Regia, which is the real name, sock yarn. I'm not quite sure, but they are super soft and awesome, and I cannot wait to wear them, which will take a while because we have about 10, 12 inches of snow right now, and it's still snowing, so those will have to wait for a few months. And now I'm going to show the gift that I got from Leanne, which is a friend of mine from America. We got paired up in a year-long swap, I would say about 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since we've been friends, and we send each other Christmas gifts and birthday presents and stuff. And she's amazing. She knit me a pair of socks because she knows that I love socks. I really do. And she said that I got her into sock knitting because she wasn't a sock knitter before, and I made her become one. So she did knit me a pair of socks. There are 2, of course, but as I only have 2 sock blockers, so I had to do it like this. They're awesome. They have some kind of, what looks like to me, some kind of afterthought heel. And I like them. They are super soft. I don't know what yarn it is, but it's nice. Like really, really nice. She also sent me a super cool notions pouch. Isn't that awesome? I will have to put this into my knitting bag with all the essentials because I love it. It's so cool. Then I got a skein of Regia sock yarn because I'm addicted to sock knitting and I love it. She did buy this awesome little pottery bowl. It's a bowl. So just this very tiny thing with the shredded glass in it. She also did send me one of those row counters, and I love those. I use those all the time. And it's very light, very shiny here. It says Knitter's Emergency Kit. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe this way. When I open it up, I won't be able to show you because everything is going to fall out. Or, no, I'm gonna try. It has a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, a low bar, this little thing here that tells you how to do a Kitchener stitch, a double-sided crochet hook for repairing your knitting. Like I said, a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, a low bar, which I've never used before, great, a lens cleaning wipe for my glasses, and I really hope I never have to use those with knitting, some band-aids. It's a very cool little thing. I like that. Just putting everything back because I want to use it as it is. And because knitters love notions, right? She got me a little notebook with a sheepy on it. Isn't that cool? I love this. It's very thoughtful. So, that brings me to my indie of the week this week. Normally I would talk about a bag maker or a yarn dyer or stuff, something like that. But I decided to talk about a German designer this week for a little change because I told you that I'm going to knit the Chimera mitts for myself from by Julia Müller. And she has a lot of very nice and very intricate glove patterns. I'm going to show you just her Ravelry page with her designs. I hope you can see it. Nope. Okay, I'm going to open up a few because I really, really like them. And I'm going to knit quite a lot of them sometime. So, no. Maybe white, a pair of white gloves is not the best way, the best thing to show. Maybe this is a better picture. Yes. This one of her patterns. It's called Glacier. And they're pretty much all, I wouldn't say like this, but they have very intricate cables or twisted stitches. And the reason I'm going to talk about her today is her patterns were all paid for patterns, which is absolutely okay because they are great. A lot of work goes into those. But I think for 2 days now, all of her patterns are up on Ravelry as a free download. She explains it on her, on the overview page of her designing thing here, where it has all the information. She says that her day job is not giving her enough time to do new designs, and there's a new EU law coming out next year for digital selling of stuff, and she didn't want to have to deal with that, so she decided to put up all of her patterns for free. But she also did say that there will be no email support any longer. So if you want to knit some of her patterns, just go ahead, download all of them to your library, but she won't be around to help you out with any problems. But as her stuff is just gorgeous, I wanted to show it, or talk about her today. I'm going to show you one more, because it's another pattern that I really, really like. It's called Arkema, and it has cables and beads, which I like a lot. So if you want to, go check it out. All of her patterns are in English, so there's no need to worry. Although she is German, her patterns are not available in German. They're only available in English, so shouldn't be a problem for almost everyone out there. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to knit some of her stuff, and maybe you want to join. So for everything else today, I just want to talk about one thing. You might have noticed that I'm not sitting on my green couch, because there is no green couch anymore. We have to reorganize the house because of the baby. So my sewing / home office room is going to be the baby's room, which means that I have to clear it out. And I'm recording in my knitting room. I know, I have 2 rooms for crafting. I now have only 1 room for crafting. And in my school break, we're going to reorganize everything, which means that we have to bring down all the sewing stuff into this room, which meant that there's no space left for the couch. I will have a nice chair in here for, just sit down and knit, but no couch, which is fine, because right behind me will go my sewing table, and this is where my couch used to be. So I'm not going to show you my room because it's a mess, like really a mess. I nearly cannot walk in here because everything is just scattered on the floor and everywhere. But I hope to have it done in 2 weeks, hopefully. The only other thing I have today is I wanted to show you my nails, because I did a Christmas design on them. I did a lot of research for, painting your nails while you're pregnant, and every page I visited told me that it's absolutely okay, so I did. For the first time since September. The only problem I have, and you might see this, the white nail polish that I have is like, the worst nail polish on the planet, and it gives me little bubbles. It has airy bubbles. Every time I use it for whatever, if I just use the white without anything else, it gives bubbles. Paired with other polishes, I'm just going to throw it out and get a new one. So, my Christmas nails. Sometimes I'm a girl. Okay, that's it for this week. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you all will have a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I'll talk to you again next week, and I hope you are all great and enjoy yourselves and enjoy the time with your family. Bye.